But I was like, look, you don't sleep in the same bed with anybody. You need to sleep on the floor if they don't have an extra bed for you until you get to know this person better. Nobody is allowed to touch you. Nobody should be naked around you. My husband's like, you're overreacting. I'm like, I don't know what to say.
Hey people, how y'all doing today? It's your girl Destiny here, and welcome back to my channel. How you are doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So today's video is another family type of video. So come, let's talk parents. Come, let's talk family. So this woman came on the internet to ask the question that when is the right time, what's the right things to say when your child is going on a sleepover. She wanted to talk that her son was about to go on a sleepover to a friend across the street, and she went on to have the sleepover talk with his son, saying no, nobody should sleep on the same bed with you, nobody should touch you. You guys know the conversation. And her husband was telling her that, oh, she was overreacting, that, oh, that's an awkward conversation to have, that conversation is not healthy to be having with the child. And she wants people to stitch the video and share their thoughts. When is the right time to have that conversation? What is the conversation going to look like? Anyway, guys, let's go check out this video, then we'll come back and talk.
So controversial topic, but I don't want to deprive my kids of sleepovers. So like, can somebody stitch this and tell me like how you prepare them for the sleepover? Because the other night my husband's like, you're being inappropriate, because my son wanted to have a sleepover at somebody's house. It was the first time he had stayed there. They were across the street. But I was like, look, you don't sleep in the same bed with anybody. You need to sleep on the floor if they don't have an extra bed for you until you get to know this person better. Nobody is allowed to touch you. Nobody should be naked around you. My husband's like, you're overreacting. I'm like, I don't know what to say. I was like, if you feel uncomfortable at any time, just leave immediately. I said, if they tell you that they're going to hurt your family if you tell anyone, then go ahead and leave. Nobody's going to hurt us. But like, what do you tell your kid? Please stitch this. Can somebody stitch this and tell me like how you prepare them for the sleepover?
You don't, because they don't go. If you have to prepare them, they shouldn't be there.
So controversial topic, but I don't want to deprive my kids of sleepovers. So like,
my kids had 2 sleepovers at my house. Okay. And you know what I learned from that? Sleepovers is just not a thing anymore. I will be the controversial one and say I am wholeheartedly depriving my child of sleepovers. Sleep at home. We can do everything else together. Friends, family, all of that. But when we're sleeping, we are at the house. It's too much. It's too much. And the way I watch the crime, and I watched this story about how this man sent his family, his son, to sleep over at somebody's house. And then while there, somebody broke into that house, murdered everybody in the family, including his son. And he wakes up the next morning and looks down the street and sees the coroner picking up bodies. It's his son. So no, we don't believe in sleepovers.
I want to deprive my kids of sleepovers. So like, can somebody stitch this and tell?
Okay, but your kids aren't going to be deprived if they don't go to sleepovers. It's perfectly fine. They have all those other hours in the day to play with their friends and do whatever and be at home safe in their bed at night. It's fine. I have 5 children, half of which are adults now. So sleepovers have never been part of our lives, and they don't feel deprived. We've had this conversation, actually. When my older kids were young, I would allow other kids to come stay with us, but one of my middle children is a psychopath. So since she moved in with us, there have been no sleepovers allowed at my house either. And there just never came an occasion where I knew the family on the deep enough level to be sure that it was safe over there. And so it just never happened. And my kids are perfectly fine. Yours will be fine. You're not depriving them.
So controversial topic, but I don't want to deprive my kids of sleepovers.
I'm depriving them. They don't need them. The amount of abuse and SA and just uncomfortable situations that happen at sleepovers, it's not something I'm willing to risk my child's childhood on. Because see, the thing is I can control what happens in my house. I can control what I expose to my children to in my house. But when I let them go to someone else's house to sleep, I can't control those things. That is their home. They can allow whoever they want in that home. They can decide any rules that they want to have while that child is over there. Me and my child are at the mercy of someone else's environment. And don't get me wrong, I don't want them in my house either. Like I don't want to be responsible for other kids as well. So, yeah, I'm depriving them. It is what it is.
So please go back and watch the rest of the video. But yeah, I was one of those kids where my mom did not allow us to sleep over nobody's house. When I was younger, I totally did not get it. But now that I'm older, oh my God, I completely understand and I appreciate it. Because I've heard horror stories of what happens with people's uncles, cousins, family friends, grandpas, even the daddies, older brothers, all that too. And in her video, her son was going to a sleepover and she's telling him, like, make sure nobody's touching you. You don't sleep in the bed with nobody else. Nobody should be naked around you. All that. And her husband is saying that she's overreacting. I'm like, no, she is not. Little boys and little girls need to know nobody should be naked around you. Nobody should be touching you. You should be in the same room with your friend. No adult should be around you inappropriately. And if they do, please call me immediately.
This and tell me like how you prepare them for the sleepover.
As a mother of two daughters, one is 13 and another one is 8, I would like to say something about sleepover. There is nothing to prepare for sleepover. I don't think sleepover should be allowed at all until the children is old enough. I'm talking like 17, 18. Do you remember in the news when a 12-year-old went to a sleepover with a group of girlfriends and they're all like 13, 12 or something, and she was tortured for like 3-4 hours straight? Do you remember that? And we used to say, oh, when you send your daughter to sleepover, make sure that the father is not in the house. Make sure that there's no brothers there for that night. Make sure that there's no uncles there. It's all females in the house. It should be fine. That doesn't work anymore in this new time. My oldest daughter has a couple of girlfriends who identify themselves as pansexual, asexual, gender fluid, gender neutral, bisexual, and many more. Now, a couple weeks ago, she was invited to a birthday party, and I look at the invitation. It said that it starts from 8 p.m. all the way to 10 a.m. the next day. So I asked my daughter, is that like a typo or something? Like, why is it like start Saturday night and then it's in Sunday night? She's like, oh, it's a sleepover kind of birthday party. Now, as much as I want my daughter to have fun and to be included in her group of friends, I didn't feel comfortable sending her out spend the night. Because I don't want my daughter to be influenced, to have peer pressure, to be doing things that she doesn't feel comfortable to be experimenting certain things that her friends might suggest. I don't know what's going on after the light is off after 11 p.m. The parents probably not going to be able to monitor what they do in the bedroom. So I told my daughter she could go, but I would have to go pick her up. I don't mind go pick her up at 11 midnight, but she was not allowed to go spend the night, unfortunately. And that's our new rule now in our family, that all of our children are not allowed to go do sleepover, no matter how much we know the family.
Of sleepovers.
Okay, I just want to break something down for you. You asked what you can tell your kids to prepare them, and I just want to pose a question to you. Do you think that there is anything that you can say to your child during the day that would ever prepare them well enough for when an unsafe adult who lives in the home or is visiting the home approaches them in that bed, wherever they're sleeping, at this stranger's house at 2 or 3 in the morning? Do you think there's anything when they are defenseless and half asleep that they are going to remember that you've told them? Now, most commonly, I've done my research on this. I have a trauma background, having experienced a lot of trauma, and wanting to avoid as much as possible for my own children. Me and my husband have done a lot of research. One of the most common responses, and I know this from personal experience as well, when you are faced with a scary situation, especially in the middle of the night or, I mean, whenever it will be, but is a freeze response. Now, we want to believe that our children are going to scream, kick, do all the things that we've said, say, no, don't touch me there. But the reality is that groomers and people who hurt children know exactly what they're doing. And they know the best way to keep your child quiet, to hurt them, and for your child not to tell. So I just think it's not something that we can prepare our children for, to be completely defenseless and laying in somebody else's bed in their house, to know exactly what to do. And I never want my child to go through that alone. It's somewhere where I'm not. So my children sleep in my house every single night. They have stayed with family members that we trust 100%. Like, we would let them raise our kids if we were gone. And that's about, I think, in my opinion, that is the level of trust you should have for somebody who is going to have your child while they're defenseless asleep overnight. And I think it's one time that it's okay to overreact for your children. I wouldn't call it overreacting. I would call it keeping your children safe. But it's one time where it's okay to, if people get offended that your child can't sleep over at their house, that's all right. You are protecting your child from a lifelong trauma. So just my 2 cents, and that I would share.
So, first of all, the lady who original video, her husband is stupid. He's stupid. She's not overreacting. She's telling the right thing. She's telling her son the right thing. I have a 3-year-old. She don't do sleepovers. We do not do sleepovers. I explain to her every day. Like, if she asks certain, like, sexual stuff, I explain to her what stuff is in plain English. I don't baby fast. She know what a is. She know what is. She know what her. She know what is. All of that stuff. So we do consent with baths and everything. So she know nobody's allowed to touch her. She knows safe touches, safe adults. But sleepovers, absolutely not. She's too young. She's too young. And my baby she's impressionable. She's 3. Like, no. So she's gonna go somewhere. I don't care who it is. I don't care how long we've known them. She's not doing sleepovers at least until she's like 10, 11, maybe 12. But I'm not sending my baby somewhere and an adult or a sibling of the friend or a family friend of that family friend try to take advantage of her and she don't know what to do. My baby, she is sensitive. And somebody telling her, oh, I'm going to hurt your family. I'm going to take you away from your family if you tell this. She will break down and cry. She wouldn't know what to do. So no, explain to your child exactly. Hey, thank you, baby. Explain to your child what's going on. Explain to your child consent. Talk about bodies in plain language. If he's old enough to go to sleepovers and stuff and you want him to go to these sleepovers, explain all of this stuff. Let him know and everything. Teach him to cuss. My 3-year-old, she cusses. If a stranger comes up to her and she don't know who he's, get away from me, bitch. I don't know you. Whatever. She cusses. And I tell her, because somebody will recognize a child cussing before they recognize a scream for help or I don't know you,
Yeah.
More people are inclined to stop when they hear a kid cussing. So yes, I teach my baby to cuss. Sorry. And she can cuss in the right context. But as far as sleepovers, no, not right now. Until then, I'm gonna continue to teach her body parts and consent and what to do with strangers and all that stuff and body safety and stranger danger safety, all that good stuff. Not even stranger danger, complete no.
Please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. Love to know what you think about this conversation down in the comment section, but please keep it respectful. Here on the channel, we are allowed to disagree, but we do it in a respectful way. So go down and share your thoughts. Are you team sleepovers? Are you team no sleepovers? Or are you team indifference about this? Go down and share your thoughts. Okay, love to know what you think. Okay, So for me personally, like my mom, I'm so sorry, guys. My mic died and even my camera died eventually as I was talking. So I'm just going to make a voiceover and share my own thought on this. So for me personally, this sleepover should not even be a thing. Me growing up, my mom sleepover was not a thing. My mom does not allow anybody to come to our house to stay. We don't go to nobody's house to stay, even for the holidays. Yeah, in Nigeria, there's usually in my society, there's this thing they do where during holidays, children go to their relatives' house to stay and spend time with their cousins. No, that was not my household. My mom didn't like it. My dad didn't like it. And hearing the type of stories we've heard over time, and even a DV that has happened to children and all the abuse that has happened to children, usually starts from when they go to relative house, spend time, and usually adults that they know. So for me personally, I am a no, like a big no to sleepovers. I don't even. What's the essence of it? I also feel like I have had a friend that had their children sleep over in my house. So I'll be a hypocrite if I say like, oh no. But I feel like the other lady said, it has to be somebody that you trust, somebody that you feel like if anything happens to you, they will look out for those children. Those are the people that you should feel like comfortable to leave your children for and for them to stay. So like even my sisters can leave their kids with me. So I can't really say like sleepover. But for me personally, oh, I don't think I'm a paranoid. I know I will be a paranoid mom, so I can't even let go of my child to be somewhere else where I don't have control. Like it will not even work. Everybody that knows me knows that I'll be a psycho mom like that. So for me, it's a no. Anyway, guys, please go down in the comment section and share your thought. Love to know what you think about this conversation down in the comment section, but please keep it respectful. Here on the channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a respectful way. So go ahead and share your thought. Please go on and share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation because that's what we do here. We have banging conversations. So go on and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people to see, and that will be you supporting your girl. With that all said, guys, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. It's almost New Year, guys, and before I go, I just want to say a big thank you to each and every one of you that supported this channel. Thank you guys so much, and Happy New Year in advance. Less than 24 hours to go. I'm super excited. Anyway, guys, see you guys in my next video. Deuces.